and welcome back to LA Fishguys Part 2, Scrubbing with Algae. We previously discussed the concept of using algae to consume nutrients in the aquarium. We're now installing the Santa Monica brand algae scrubber. This algae scrubber basically is a tall, narrow tank with lights clamped to either side of it. It discharges water down through a rod that allows it to rain over a plastic screen, and the illumination of the lights over the screen grow algae. To do so, we need to place it over the filter sump. But first, we have to build a shelf to support the unit. And you know boys and their toys.
That's for sure.
And voila! We've now got a shelf to support our Santa Monica brand algae scrubber as it sits across the top of our filtration sump. And if you didn't catch the first part of this episode, we're actually going to be growing algae in an algae scrubber placed below the aquarium in an attempt to compete for the same nutrients that the nuisance algae up in the tank are using.
Alright, so we had to get a little clever on how we're going to end up getting the plumbing to hook up to this unit. We need to have this end of that long bar at the front of the cabinet face, and unfortunately they glued in that barb fitting, which we could have switched that out for an elbowed barb, but instead we had to add an elbowed barb to it with a coupling. So I've got this, and this in turn will bring the water over here. I can end up going between the protein skimmer pipes there, and then place the water pump in the water at the back side of the sump, and that's how we're going to get the water into the algae scrubber.
The algae scrubber requires 750 gallons an hour by itself, so we ended up providing a dedicated pump for it. We just need to position it properly.
Yeah, where do you want that power cord to go? We'll go over here. Now, is this a totally?
Yeah, the white one is always on.
Okay.
So we can use that.
Okay.
This aquarium has those fancy power strip outlets that utilize timers. We've got the need for two reasons to use that power strip. One being to drive the water pump itself, which is on 24/7. The other one, where the timers will come into play, is for the lights for the algae scrubber. They only need to run at maximum 18 hours of the 24, and preferably the opposite time frame that the lights are on up in the aquarium. This will allow for a more even respiration between oxygen and carbon dioxide. It'll also help support or maintain a more level pH in the aquarium.
Alright, so we've got the line coming off the water pump, the submersible water pump, up to the front, and we've got a couple elbowed barbs in place, and of course we've got those clamped. I've got to admit, I'm a little hokey on the input plumbing here. I mean, it's nice and clean, but there might have been a better way we could have done it. I just haven't figured that part out yet. We also want to try to support this somehow, because once it fills with water, it's going to want to dangle. And at the same time, there's nothing that secures that pipe with a screen on it in place other than just gravity sitting in a slot, so it's going to want to twist a little bit here as well. So again, we're learning as we go along.
Reef Hobbyist magazine believes that our hobby, our fellow hobbyists, and the animals in our care are best served by the free distribution of quality information. Reef Hobbyist magazine provides hobbyists with critical husbandry information with an emphasis on marine ornamental breeding efforts. Reef Hobbyist magazine is available for free in local fish stores across the country, or you can subscribe at www.reefhobbyistmagazine.com. My name's Jim Stime. I'm with myfishtank.com. I'd like to take and show you the advantages of a Clear for Life acrylic aquarium. Here's the first difference on a glass versus acrylic aquarium. Glass aquariums have these thick silicone seams in their corners. They use silicone to hold those glass panels together, and that seam becomes pretty obvious. An acrylic tank, on the other hand, has a rounded front corner, which means its sides plus its front panel are all one continuous sheet of acrylic, and they are rounded or bent front corners. So there is no seam to be seen. Now we happen to have one of those new power strips that has a handful of controllable timer type outlets, and the two lights on the algae scrubber we're going to hook up to this timer, as the directions do say that we only want to run the lights in the algae scrubber for 18 hours maximum a day, not 24/7. So we're going to go ahead and get those programmed so we can get the lights to come on.
And they're not.
And then once the lights are on, we will plug in the water pump and start passing some water through the unit. Maybe these switches need to be turned on.
Oh, were they? That might have something to do with it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's a switch at the far end for the other one.
They're both on right now.
Oh, okay.
Looks good, yeah.
Are they? Or is just one illuminating the other?
Man, maybe that's what's going on.
There we go.
There we go.
Now they're both on. Okay. So, everything is hooked up.
Is that plug in the bottom of that unit?
And with everything hooked up, we'll give it the test run. And as you can see, the water is being sprayed out over that plastic screen, which in turn collects in the bottom of the unit and then drains out that 1-inch drain bulkhead. We've got an extension pipe on there to bring that water down so it minimizes the splashing that occurs down in the sump. But so far, everything seems to be mechanically working as it's supposed to.
All right, so we've got the cover on the unit, which muffled a lot of that gurgling noise. And our tubing seems to be holding in position. Still got algae in the tank, but it's only been a few minutes, but I suppose it'll take a little bit longer. So make it a point to come on back for the next part, which will be in 2 or 3 weeks, which will be the next time that we actually service the unit. We'll pull that screen out at that time, take a look at it, look at the algae that's growing on it, and let you know how easy or difficult it is to clean that screen. And until then, make it a point to keep moving forward in all life's little projects, and we'll see you on the next part.